It went down tonight. Geno sitting on 1,216 career wins, looking to pass the recently retired Tara Vanderveer, take over sole possession of the coaching wins list. They honored Geno and his longtime assistant Chris Daly, the 40 seasons coaching next to each other. Dignitaries in the house, more than 60 alumni. And of course, you saw Danny Hurley, coach of the two-time defending men's national champions. Paige Bueckers leading the break, knocking down the three. UConn jumped out to the 33-16 lead. It wasn't so much a matter of if it would happen, but by how many. For UConn against FDU, Caitlin Chen, the steal, the layup. The likes of Maya Moore, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Rebecca Lobo in the house. Hall of Famers all, and Bueckers, the projected #1 overall pick, extending the UConn lead to 21. Sarah Strong getting involved with the three for a Huskies team that it's going to be South Carolina, maybe a few others, but UConn among those who are favorited to win the national championship this season. Bueckers gets it back and puts it away. The man who built the program from the ground up and turned a no-history team into the greatest in the history of the sport now stands alone. Win number 1217 for Geno Auriemma, the most in the history of basketball. We go by the numbers on Geno's career as a head coach, the most decorated coach in NCAA tournament history with 11 national championships. He's also got the most Final Fours, Elite Eights, Sweet 16s, and not surprisingly, wins. He's coached some of the most dominant teams in D1 history. In fact, of the 10 undefeated seasons in Division I history, Geno is responsible for 6 of them. No other coach has done it multiple times. That success doesn't come from just dominating the competition. 28 players have gone on to be first-round picks in the WNBA draft, and he's got another on the way in Paige Bueckers. The stars were shining bright in stores. Shay and Kevin back with you on SportsCenter. 1,217 wins now for Geno Auriemma, the most by any man or woman at any level of college basketball. We look back at some of the greatest moments of his career. Look at that young guy, Luigi Auriemma. 85 season, named Huskies head coach, won his first game against Iona. 1995 national title game, his first ever chip. UConn trailed Tennessee by 6, but went on to win it. Finished the season undefeated. Our Rebecca Lobo, the team's highest score for the season and in the title game. It would be the first of many. Shay, how about 3-year run of championships, 2002 through 2004, coaching the likes of Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Incredible run, and the dynasty had only just begun. 2009, another milestone for Geno. The Huskies defeated Hofstra on November 27th for career win number 700, making him the fastest to do that in the history of college basketball at any level, men or women. You're picking up on the trend here for Geno. He would not stop from there. 2013 to 2016, 4 consecutive titles. First women's team to ever win 4 consecutive national championships, 11 chips in all, most in the history of Division I college basketball. And tonight, Geno, the all-time winningest coach at any level.
For more on a historic night in Storrs, Connecticut, let's welcome in ESPN women's basketball reporter Alexa Philippou. And Alexa, what a night. It looked like so much fun on our TV screens, but take us inside Gamble Pavilion and just explain what it was like celebrating Geno Auriemma tonight.
Well, Storrs, Connecticut likes to call itself the basketball capital of the world, and it really felt that way tonight as they honored Geno Auriemma and Chris Daly. It really started from the get-go. There was red T-shirts that fans were getting in honor of the Ruby anniversary for Geno and CD. They had red lighting. There was a special pregame ceremony where they honored all that, and even when Geno Auriemma and Chris Daly walked on the court, they received a standing ovation before the game. And then, of course, afterward, it was a who's who of women's basketball. You had Maya Moore, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, that all shared remarks on the impact that those two have had on their lives and on their careers. And probably the most amusing part was the literal goat that walked down the red carpet onto the court and that Geno and Chris Daly were able to take a picture with. I'm sure that they really loved that. But in all, I thought our colleague Rebecca Lobo really said it best. She encouraged everyone in the crowd to take this in because this is something that's never been done before and that will never be done again.
Yeah, I loved that moment too, and very well said as always by Rebecca and you as well, Alexa. Let's talk more about Chris Daly, who you just mentioned, obviously, UConn's associate head coach. She arrived there with Geno Auriemma back in 1985, and you know, it's not a usual case scenario that you see a head coach and an associate coach both being honored at the same time. How important was that recognition for her?
Well, when Chris Daly was asked about the fact that she was being honored alongside Geno Auriemma yesterday, she actually got teared up, and that's not something we usually see from her. So you could tell how much it meant for her to be included, and just the way that they were able to come together at Stores when they took over this program. It wasn't that Chris Daly was working for Geno Auriemma. It was that they were going to do this together. And whenever you talk with UConn players through the generations, they talk about how Chris Daly was just as much of an important factor in impacting their basketball lives and even off the court, just who they are as people, how they grow up into adults from their college years. She's, of course, someone that really always instilled professionalism in her players, someone that was in some ways known as the team mom. But when it comes to what her impact was on this program, it was that it was a split really between Geno Auriemma and Chris Daly. And they really can't believe that something that they came together to have this shared vision for in Stores when they first got here in 1985, it could never have turned into what it really has over the last 40 years.
Well, what it's turned into, 11 Natties, 23 Final Fours, 59 conference titles, no big deal for CD and Geno Auriemma. What a night for them. Alexa Philippou, thank you for the insight.